If you are using Instagram to promote your creative business, but you are not using an Instagram story strategy, you are definitely missing out on connecting with your audience and making more sales. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to use Instagram stories, the tools built into Instagram stories to help you connect and engage with your audience, and the type of content you should be sharing weekly on your Instagram stories to build engagement and sales. Let's get right into it. The first thing I'm going to cover is what is an Instagram story. Instagram stories are a 24-hour post on Instagram that do not go to your regular feed. Instead, they sit at the top of your home feed for you to click on and scroll through. As a user, if you are following people on Instagram, you will see stories across the top of your feed that last for 24 hours only before disappearing from view. The best part about Instagram stories is that the people who are most likely to see yours at the top of their feed are people who are already following you and are engaged with your content, meaning they like you already. So it's really easy to show up on stories and sell and convert people because you already have a warm audience who knows you and is ready to learn more about you. Instagram stories are my favorite way to show up on Instagram because they're very informal and quick to throw up on your stories. Unlike reels or graphics where you have to spend time designing, you can quickly throw up an informal picture of you, add some text on top, and post it. Or add a quick background photo, add a poll or a quiz over top, and post it. And these show up for 24 hours in the sequence that you post them for people to click through, kind of like an engaging slideshow for people to click through and see your content for the day. A lot of people ask, if it disappears after 24 hours, why would I spend my time on it? But the data is showing that more and more people are mostly viewing stories over regular types of content on their feed anyway. People really like stories. And again, this is your warm audience who is engaged with you and already following you. So where we'll use reels and graphics and regular feed posts to attract a new audience and engage with our current community. Stories are primarily for engaging with our current community who already knows, likes, and trusts us, making it even easier to connect and convert that audience. So if you want to create a story, the first thing you're going to do is open your Instagram app, be logged into your account, and from your homepage, you can swipe your finger to the right, and that will open up your story screen where you can either add a photo from your gallery or take a picture of anything around you or a picture of yourself. The other option is to go to your profile and click the plus sign and then add a story that way. Your stories will post in order, so if you want to do a day in the life type of content, you'll start in the morning as you're starting your day, post your first story, and then every single story posted after that within that 24-hour time frame will post in order. So let's talk about the tools that are built into Instagram stories. Once you add your photo or take your video, or there's the boomerang style where you can do this quick little GIF style video of yourself or of something else around you, you can add a variety of engagement stickers on top, such as get your audience's reactions with the emoji sticker so they can click on that sticker to react and interact with your content. There is the emoji slider sticker where people can rate from low to high how they feel, how they're reacting to your content. There are quizzes where you can pick a question, a variety of answers, and only one of those answers is correct. So you can quiz your audience on their knowledge about a certain topic, like get to know me or my products or just the industry in general, something that would relate to your audience. You can also poll your audience. So with polls, there is no one right answer. You are more so doing market research or trying to find out what your audience likes or dislikes about something. This is a great tool for creatives to use if you are curious what your audience thinks about perhaps your book cover and giving them a couple different options and having them choose between option 1 or option 2, or perhaps something else about your book or the creative project that you are working on. I like to do this at least monthly to ask my audience a question and see what they're thinking about something that I'm perhaps planning in the future and want to know how my audience would react to it. But these stickers are good to use every week of your strategy on Instagram because the more that people interact with your stories and engage with your stories, the more that Instagram is going to show your other types of posts to your audience. So using stories with reels and with graphics and feed posts and carousels all work together to ensure that your most engaged audience is seeing all of your different types of content. Now, like I said before, Instagram stories are really kind of low key. I love to just take a picture of myself at my desk or a quick boomerang of myself at my desk and share my to-do list for the day or share what I'm working on or show a behind the scenes glimpse of the book that I'm working on, for example, and have my audience react to that. So it's a very informal way to show up. And because it's so quick to do and post, I like to post every single week, especially during the work week when my audience is online and they're engaged. And it just helps me show up and be consistent on Instagram on a regular basis without having to necessarily create new photos, new graphics, things like that. Now, there's so many different types of content that you can share on stories. And I've already shared many examples in this video by just walking through how to use stories. But there's another aspect of stories, which is sharing your posts or other people's posts to your stories to kind of amplify your views on that post. Now, what I will say is whenever I share my post to my stories, so for example, if you tap the little share icon underneath one of your posts, you can click add to story and then add additional text or an emoji reaction or something like that to your story. And this can help your most engaged audience see, hey, this person has a new post. That being said, I have noticed lower views whenever I do this because I'm not sharing original content. And a lot of the times my audience is already aware of that new post because the people seeing my stories are typically pretty engaged with me to begin with. That doesn't mean you can never share your new post to your stories. I still do this on a regular basis, but I try to share more engaging and interactive content first before I just share my new post to my story because it's not really adding a lot of value for my audience. Another thing that I like to do to really get my audience engaged with my new post would be to pop up a poll or a quiz about the topic of that post before I share that to my story. So for example, if I was sharing a new excerpt from my book about self-love and insecurities when you look in the mirror, I could pop a poll up on my story that says, do you struggle with insecurities when you look in the mirror? Yes or no? And then my audience is already engaged about the topic, they're thinking about the topic, and then I could share that excerpt from my feed to my stories and say, if you answered yes to this poll, then this is for you. Click on this post and give it a read and let me know your thoughts. Another type of Instagram story sticker that is very unique to just Instagram is the ability to add a link to your story. Now, the reason that this gets me so excited is because on Instagram and your regular posts, you cannot have a clickable link anywhere. And using the term link in bio or putting a URL is going to do more harm than good for the algorithm because it's not clickable and Instagram doesn't want you to take people off of their platform. Unlike platforms like TikTok, where they have stories but you can't link in them at all, Instagram allows you to add a link sticker directing people where you want them to go. So this is wonderful news for sales. If you want to link directly to your product in stories, you can link directly to your mailing list to grow your email list, or your YouTube channel if you want to direct people to your new video. Wherever you want them to go, this is the place to do it because, again, your warm audience is seeing these and it's a place to give a sales pitch to warm your audience up to something new that you're working on and then link them directly to it so they don't have to search around your profile and your link in bio. Another feature that Instagram recently came out with for stories is the Add Yours sticker, which allows you to create your own template that other people can add their own photos or videos to. So for example, if I wanted to start a new one called Best Books of 2024, then other people could use that template and add their best books of 2024 to their Instagram story, and I would be credited as the original creator of that template, which can help you get more visibility on your Instagram page. As homework for this video, I highly recommend that you go ahead and give Instagram stories a try, posting a few times this week, something casual, something informal. It does not have to be perfect, and remember, it disappears after 24 hours, so don't let perfection stop you from posting something behind the scenes for your audience. This can be a day in the life where you walk through hour by hour what you work on. This can be a behind the scenes glimpse of a current project. This can be asking your audience polls or quizzing them on something related to your industry. We are all going to have different stories because we all have different genres and different audiences and industries to talk to. So think about what your audience might want to know and get a glimpse of in your life and share a few this week on Instagram. I also wanted to share a couple tips for you on making your stories engaging. The first one is you can add text boxes, and you should add text boxes to your story to add context. So I like to do this where I just take a quick picture of myself or maybe my workspace and add my to-do list for the day as text on the screen, or add some tips or advice on the screen as text. But don't load too much text into one slide. Remember that people are going to be able to click through each slide of your story. So try not to put too much text on one. You can always add a second slide with more details as well. So space it out over a few different pictures. The next tip I have for you is to change up the style of your stories. So if you are doing a day in the life, all pictures, just single pictures of you adding text explaining what you're doing, isn't going to be the most engaging experience. So what you can do instead is do some pictures, do some boomerang style videos, and do some regular videos where you are on camera talking about whatever it is you're talking about. That will make it more of an engaging experience for your audience as they click through and see picture, video, boomerang, and it kind of rotates through those different styles. Along the same lines as that, my third tip for you for engaging stories is to change up your location. So don't post tons of content in a row where you are sitting in the same seat. Try to move throughout your house or your workspace. If you are showing a day in your life, take some pictures and videos while you're out doing your errands or whatever it is you're doing, and change up your location a little bit so people aren't always seeing the exact same spot over and over. This just makes it a little bit more visually engaging. And the last tip I have for you is that you should not post too many stories in a row. Again, they all add up, and so the likelihood of someone clicking through 30 stories at once is not as likely as maybe 5 to 7 engaging stories at once. Now, for me during a launch period, I do have more than 5 to 7 per day. I might be sharing testimonials one by one or different aspects and features of the product that I'm launching. So it can be a little bit more involved, but I'm not doing that every single day. I'm only doing that during launch periods when my audience is already warmed up and ready and interested. Now that you have nailed your Instagram story strategy, you are ready to master Instagram highlights, which I highly recommend you have on your profile to connect and convert your audience on Instagram. So go ahead and watch this video for the 5 highlights you should have on your Instagram profile, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!